Hey guys, Genevieve here. It is almost time for our Cancer new moon. This is going to be occurring tomorrow, early in the morning, actually, around 5:44 a.m. Eastern Time. And as you probably know, my blend that I have created to commemorate the Cancer new moon is called Flow because Cancer is the crab. It's a water sign, and we really want to try to go with the flow. What are water signs? Water signs are first and foremost emotion, right? Also, the moon rules Cancer, so it's in its home sign. Um, the moon, again, being a water sign, it's a feminine sign. It's pretty much the most feminine sign in the zodiac. And so this is very much in tune with the mother archetype. Okay, also home, family, nurturing, themes of that nature. Here, my little grab glass. So the body parts associated with this new moon, being that feminine mother archetype, are the breasts, ovaries, stomach, womb, anything kind of related to the female reproductive organs. So they're going to be extra sensitive under this new moon. So please be cautioned to protect them, take care of them, nurture them. Our aspects to the elements here, we only have 4 in fire, we have 6 to air, 5 to earth, and 12 to water. So yes, this is going to be very emotional. It's going to feel very watery. It's going to feel kind of heavy. And so those planetary placements: Sun in Cancer, Moon in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, Venus is in Virgo, Mars is in Gemini, Jupiter is in Leo, Saturn, Aries, Uranus, Gemini, Neptune is in Aries. It just went retrograde, and Pluto is still retrograde in Aquarius. All right. So let's jump right in. Again, we talked about, this emotional water sign of Cancer. The sun is in Cancer, has us feeling emotional, moody, wanting to spend time with dependable and stable partners and companions, especially with Venus and Virgo. And we'll get to that aspect in a bit. We want to also spend a lot of time around our home, working on creative and artistic projects, maybe redecorating. And it is conjunct to the moon. That is a new moon, so it's its own sign. It's home sign, like I mentioned. So home, family themes, emotional connections are highlighted. Now the sun is also conjunct Mercury, which is in Cancer. So this is going to help with the moon, with the sun and Mercury conjunct. Always helps with kind of quick thinking and expressive, but we're expressing emotionally at this time. We're emoting, all right? It's a good time to communicate our feelings with our loved ones at this time. Now, there is a square to Sun and Saturn. This is a carryover from that full moon energy we felt a couple of weeks ago. We might still be struggling with some self-confidence and inner doubts under this aspect. Now, with our moon in Cancer, as I mentioned, the moon is at home and Cancer. This is where most of us will want to spend our time during this phase, during this new moon. We're kind of feeling protective of our family, ourselves, and our friends. So we want to spend time creating or working on domestic activities like cooking, gardening, crafting, etc. The moon is conjunct Mercury, so our emotional intelligence is highlighted. We want to enjoy and strengthen our emotional bonds, but we do want to watch out for the tendency to gossip. Now, with the moon square Saturn, we might be feeling needy, clingy, or perhaps a little lonely, okay? Our tendency to isolate for self-preservation, which is a very Cancerian theme, might lead to that sadness and loneliness. So watch out. Try to find that balance. With Mercury in Cancer, this is heart-centered, intuitive communication being highlighted here. Careers in writing, nurturing, and helping fields are highlighted. We are feeling a little bit more compassionate and understanding of others at this time, but it might take longer to process our emotions. So do the work. Do the work to process. Don't just kind of like this. Emoting is good, but make sure you really are processing before you express. Mercury is square Saturn, so again, this is kind of leading to that feeling overly self-critical, possibly lagging self-confidence. All right. Venus is in Virgo. So Virgo being an earth sign, romance is going to feel very grounded and very earthy, steady and dependable. And our feelings are probably going to be demonstrated best through acts of service, small and quiet gestures instead of like dramatic and showy things. Watch out for overthinking and perfectionistic tendencies. Nothing kills romance more than like thinking too much about it or just being like wanting everything to be perfect, because that's just not reality. Venus and Virgo people. All right. Now, Venus is square Mars. This is actually one of the biggest challenges, if not the biggest challenge here in this new moon. Our feelings are intense and may fluctuate wildly during this moon phase. Again, we want to try to go with the flow and take time to process. We also might be feeling a little bored, a little restless, or quickly lose interest in things that normally bring us joy. All right, so watch out for that. Also, restlessness and bored, can kind of be the drawback of too much kind of steadiness, stableness, closeness. So, if you're feeling that way, like, it will pass. Venus is square Uranus. This is a challenge too, although not as dramatic. We might be feeling torn between wanting emotional closeness and independence. Now, Mars is in Gemini. We talked about that. It moved into Gemini about a month or so ago. So this is quick thinking, acting, restless energy, ability to adapt. There are all hallmarks of this placement, which can help offset any intense emotions or loneliness that might pop up. It is sextile. Sextile Saturn. So careful, deliberate, responsible action is called for, guys. This is how we're going to avoid accidents, mistakes that occur with Mars and Gemini. All right. It is conjunct Uranus, so this can cause impulsivity, wanting to break out of boring routines, right? So that's kind of the balance we're in. We want the stable, steady, closeness, security, but we also might get a little bored with it. Now, Mars, this is next one is a very strong positive aspect placement. It is trine Pluto. This means positions of leadership highlighted, showing by example how to overcome obstacles and reach goals. Again, this is some of that outer planet energy that we now have to help us through a lot of this stuff. Jupiter and Pluto. This can bring selfish and arrogant behavior to the forefront in some people, okay? Watch out for this. This can help boost our lagging self-confidence if worked with properly. So, yeah, we might be feeling a little lagging, but Jupiter and Leo is going to kind of help us reinforce and rebuild our confidence at this time. So some people will definitely be feeling much more energetic than others. Okay, so try not to force action from people who are just not feeling it. Like I said, this is water. This is emotional energy. This can be very exhausting for some people, and some people just get oversensitive and overstimulated. And if you are not one of those people, and you're like, come on, let's go, let's do something, because you're feeling this Jupiter and Leo placement, just don't, just chill, like read the room, see who's feeling your vibe and who is not. It is sextile Uranus, so again, this is helping us with forward thinking, idealistic, and have support for authentic self-expression. Jupiter trine Neptune, this placement brings even more empathy and sensitivity, desire for unity, and intuitive ways to work toward those lofty goals with collected thinking minds. Now, Jupiter, in Leo is opposite Pluto here. This is a challenge. It's not horrible challenge, but just be aware. We may be questioning our values, how they are presented, and struggle with authority versus our own inner morals. Again, this is kind of, we've been having this theme here for a while. So, like, yes, we have our values. Are we presenting them? Are we living them? Also, that authority, that outward authority that's actually being detrimental at this time. We're struggling and trying to keep our inner compass while dealing with the reality of the situation that authority figures and people in positions of power do not always have our best interests at heart. All right, so Saturn in Aries still has us struggling with asserting our opinions, finding our authentic voices. Political ambitions can be highlighted, and we've already discussed these aspects. With Uranus and Gemini, this is non-traditional learning methods, finding new truths being highlighted, and our imagination is definitely activated. So use this emotional water energy to really, your emotions and your intuition and your creativity, all of that, right? It is sextile Neptune. This is another very, very strong positive aspect here. It just went retrograde. And if you guys follow along, about a week ago, or a little less than a week ago, I talked about it when it actually happened, kind of what that means and who's going to be feeling that the most. But this is highlighting creative, spiritual, and artistic projects, but they might need some tweaks or a second look. Again, that retrograde, right? Uranus is trine Pluto. This is grounded transformation. It might be slow, but it is happening. Now, Neptune in Aries retrograde. I mentioned that before. This retrograde is definitely going to be most felt by Pisces and Aries placements because Neptune rules Pisces and Neptune is in Aries, but it will affect all because this is that outer planetary stuff. This is kind of reworking ideas for growth, for healing on a collective global level. Again, some of like our emotional processing, we might need to go back over old ground. We might need to think things that we thought were resolved might come back up to the surface again, okay, especially for these placements. And then Pluto is still in Aquarius, it's still retrograde. So we've already discussed all the aspects to Aquarius, so basically, or to Pluto. So basically my biggest message here with this new moon, and again, that's early tomorrow morning. You're probably already feeling it. The moon went into Cancer last evening, so we're probably already feeling that emotion, or that, Cancer energy, Cancer moon energy. This is going to be exact, like I said, 5:44 a.m. East Coast tomorrow morning. But then very quickly the moon moves into Leo. So again, and Jupiter being in Leo also wants us to get over that stuff really quickly and get our energy back. So my takeaway from here, you take care of yourself, your family, your home life, allow your emotions space to process, and go with the flow under this Cancer new moon. The largest positive supportive aspects are those Mars and Pluto, that Uranus and Neptune and Pluto, and the biggest challenge again is that Venus and Mars opposition, guys. So get your hands on my flow blend that you can meditate on. Be sure to sage your home. Be sure to take care of those female associated body parts that we discussed earlier, and I will share the charts as always in the comments below the link to my video. You will go to my website to see the video, essentiallygenevieve.com. I share the link on my Facebook public page and my private group. All right, have a good week, guys. Take it easy, go with the flow. Till next time.